Welcome to season 3 of the Dr. B Show, sponsored by 111 Spa and Aesthetics, Get More Clicks Media, and Transforming Your Way to Success online course powered by Borja Consulting Group. In this episode of the Dr. B Show, I interviewed Luis Sanchez-Santana, VP of Lending for Guaranteed Rate. I've been wanting to interview him for a long time. I'm happy to have him on the show as we discuss the state of real estate and where we're looking for the rest of 2022. Hopefully enjoy that episode.
Hi, Dr. B here. Are you struggling to get rid of stubborn fat but don't want to have plastic surgery? 111 Spa and Aesthetics non-invasive slimming massage can help you get the body you always wanted. 111 Spa and Aesthetics can also help you when it comes to cellulite treatments and body contouring massage. 111 Spa and Aesthetics offers a full range of skincare services, including facials, acne, scar treatments, skin tightening, microdermabrasion, and more. 111 Spa and Aesthetics are trained professionals with extensive skincare experience and utilize only the best equipment possible. For more information, please visit their website at www.111aesthetics.com. That's 1-O-N-E-11 Eleven SpaAesthetics.com, located at 10 East Moonachie Road in Hackensack, New Jersey, 07601. And to make an appointment, don't miss out, 201-520-1777, 201-520-1777, 111 Spa and Aesthetics.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. B, another edition of the Dr. B Show Season 3. I'm here with my boy, Luis Sanchez-Santana. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Heido?
Great. Happy to be here. Recorded early March, so that if he says something out of, if it gets released later on, just put full disclaimer, right?
Awesome.
Good.
I appreciate it.
No, anytime. Thank you for being on the show today. So let's jump right into it. So tell the world about yourself here.
Yeah, so Luis Sanchez-Santana, right? I was started with that. There's a lot of Sanchez's out there, so had to throw a Santana. But I'm a mortgage loan originator and currently sales manager at Guaranteed Rate. And aside from that, I'm also in the Army National Guard. Been in for about 17 years, and that's me in a nutshell.
I love it. How'd you get into the mortgage business?
So funny story. So it was actually trying to help other people out, particularly soldiers. So where I used to work, there was a job fair. And so I decided to go downstairs to try to grab some stuff for my soldiers. And so I came across a mortgage company that had a table set up. It was Homebridge at the time. I think their name is still Homebridge. And the gentleman at the table talked to me about some of it, and it kind of piqued my interest. Next thing you know, I studied for the test, took the test, passed it, and then I went ahead and got licensed. So that was back in 2014.
Wow, 8 years ago, the same year I got married, ironically. Good, man. I appreciate that. That's a great, interesting story, right? It always starts with trying to help someone small, and then you say, you know what, maybe I can monetize off this or help out more people, right? So that's
Exactly.
Great, man. So you're currently with Guaranteed Rate, right? So you've had other roles, whether it's, you have other stops, Atlantic Home Loans, Freedom Mortgage, Parada Mortgage, right? What has all that experience taught you today for this role now at Guaranteed Rate?
So, it's funny, right, that I move so much, and, things happen for a reason. I'll put it that way. Sure. But the biggest takeaways that I took away from those different companies was how to really set a foundation for myself, right, and build myself out as a loan officer. So I was able to see how different organizations and different banks did things and build out different CRMs, so client relationship management programs. So that's actually helped me a lot. That all that experience, and especially seeing how different things could be done, has put me in a position of leadership, right, as a sales manager, to where I can share that experience and actually build out systems internally here at the branch to help the overall growth and progression of the branch. So thankful for every single one of those organizations and everything that I learned while I was there. But those are the biggest things that helped me propel forward.
No, I love it. Love it. You mentioned how you was a training officer currently with the New York, New Jersey, Army National Guard. So thank you for your service. I really appreciate that. But what is you said you've been doing it 17 years. How has that helped you professionally, whether personally and professionally, I meant to say, whether it's what you're doing now or even personally, how has that kept you grounded, or how has that helped you, whether it's leadership traits, whether it's, you name it, how has being in the Army helped you?
Yeah, I mean, that 17 years is 17 years, right?
Of course, of course.
My current position is actually a logistics officer within the National Guard. But how has it helped me? I mean, it's been the pretty much my entire life, right? I joined at 17 years old, so that's all I knew. But the biggest things that I've taken away from it is the leadership trait. Just coming up from, I'm not sure if everyone is aware about structure, but coming up as a private and then eventually down further into my career, transitioning into as an officer, I was able to be on the ground level, doing the work and going through, the pains, and seeing how different leaders interacted with soldiers and stuff like that. And then eventually being led up to want to be at the leadership level, right? So I went through different stages of leadership, but every stage taught me something new. It taught me to be adaptable and understand that no matter where you go, it's always about people, right? Regardless of what business, organization, or anything that you're in, you always got to treat people as people first before anything else, right? And understand that not everyone is a one size fits all type of approach. So different people have different motives, different, target points or pain points, you should say. So the leadership part of the military and the structure part of it is what I'm most grateful for, because it's led me to be what I am today. And not only wanting to help people in different ways, but the leadership is probably the biggest learning thing from the military that I took.
Yeah, amazing, right? Especially now being having to adapt, like all of us, right? Because of COVID, so being to be adaptable to our environment, to the individual, to the team, right? So it's all about that adaptability, right? So I love it. Good, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, let's get technical a little bit. So
okay.
I found something real quick as of today. Bank rate, the current rates in New Jersey, obviously March 4th, and this will be released later in the spring. 4.12 for a 30-year fixed, 3.42 for a 15-year fixed, and 3.02 for a 5/1 adjustable rate for a mortgage rate. So with that being said, do you think? And I remember, right? It was as high as 5 and went down below 3, and now it's jumping back up. Do you see it jumping back up after the Feds kind of meet again in a few days or a few weeks from now? What are your thoughts on that?
So I'm gonna give you the crystal ball answer that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now. Like nobody really knows. I mean, we can all put our opinions and things like that based on what the market's doing. Sure. We even have like a rate watch software that kind of gives us, all the details and all the news coming out and kind of like, the suggestions as far as, whether you should lock or flow and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, it's been pretty volatile since the new year, right? So right before 2022, the rates were still hovering around, 3 to 3.375 or so. And then as soon as the new year came, it was just boom, talks about inflation, and then the recent stuff with Ukraine.
Yep.
They kind of just kicked it up. So they've been kind of like this, but going up. So my answer is simple. It's just, I personally can't even tell you if I know or not, but they're probably going to go up a little bit here. But it might fluctuate back down here and there. So,
do you want to promote your product or services to your target audience but don't know how? Do you struggle with social media marketing and management? Do you have challenges with lead generation for your business online? Well, look no further. Get More Clicks Media helps with SMS, MMS, and email marketing. Also, social media marketing and management, video marketing, lead generation, brand recognition, SEO, e-commerce, and website development. For more information, please visit getmoreclicksmedia.com. That's getmoreclicksmedia.com. Understood. And I'm going to ask you a related question as far as the housing market inventory, right? So, and it's been very competitive, right? Not much inventory. And then whoever sells, the buyer is going to be asking for a lot more than the asking price. Do you see that kind of adjusting, in a couple of months, once, let's say, once folks get off forbearance, once we'll know who's in foreclosure or who's not, do you see that kind of balancing out as far as the housing market? What are you thoughts?
Yeah, I think it'll balance out eventually. I mean, if you look at 2020 when COVID happened, right, the rates eventually started to drop down into the twos and everything. And so what that created was an abundance of buyers, right? Because everybody caught on to the news after a while, right? And then the inventory started dying out. Yeah. So as the inventory started dying out, people caught on to that, supply and demand.
Exactly.
The prices started going up. Yeah. So it could be kind of the same thing, right? Just an opinion here, but it could be the same thing on the opposite side, right? Not everybody's caught on to the news that the rates are up, if they're not watching, unless you're in the business. So if the rates continue to go up, it's going to kind of, the pool of buyers is going to start to dwindle. Thus the inventory is going to start to build up, and then it becomes a buyer's market. So that's my opinion. But we'll see what happens in the months to come. But if the rates continue to go up or stay where they're at right now, then that's probably going to catch up eventually.
I think I agree with you. I think it'll correct itself out at some point this year, So
it's a seesaw effect.
Exactly. Well, speaking of challenges of purchasing homes, right? So why do you think, and I asked this question to my other guests before you actually. So why do you think people struggle for the American dream to purchase a home? I mean, you think it's a lack of knowledge of the programs that are out there for first-time home buyers, et cetera, or even for the military? Do you think it's a lack of credit or bad credit? Do you think it's a lack of capital, not knowing if it's 3.5, if it's conventional, up to 20, 15, a combination of all the above? Why do you think folks struggle to kind of make that purchase?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say all of the above, right? So, I mean, it really starts with education, right? I don't think this is something that's taught in high school. I mean, I've been out of high school for a little bit, but I don't have kids, so I don't know.
Sure.
But I think it starts with education, right? So we'll start with the lack of credit. I think the biggest thing that keeps people from actually qualifying for a home is credit. And that's just because people don't realize that they have to monitor their credit up until they're ready to buy. And then they realize that their credit isn't where it needs to be. So just from personal experience, I bought my house in 2012, and I didn't really monitor my credit until it was that time, kind of, sort of, right? I kind of knew that I had to look at my credit. So eventually I did. I downloaded an app. I'm not going to mention anything, so it doesn't sound like I'm selling anything.
Sure, yeah, unless they're getting endorsed for it, right?
Yeah. So I personally use a specific app that I've used for over 10 years now, and it's just taught me everything that I need to know about credit. But I started out with a 522 credit score. I got it up to where I needed to get to buy a house within a year. So where I'm leading with this is that if you're planning to buy a house, you should probably start looking at, your credit, your income, your assets about 2 years out and figuring out the stuff that you need to do in order to buy a house. So don't wait until the day that you're ready to buy a house. Do it prior to and be ready to buy a house when the time comes. So lack of credit, the lack of knowledge is just part of all that. It encompasses all the credit and the assets and the income and everything like that. So if you see an opportunity to attend like a first-time home buyer seminar, I have one tomorrow. This is not going to publish.
It won't air on time. Okay.
yeah, that's all right. So if you see a first-time home buyer seminar or anything like that, don't wait until you're ready to buy a house to attend them. Attend the seminars and kind of start, getting your education right in terms of buying a home. And then I think you said lack of capital. I mean, that comes with, again, preparing 2 years ahead of time, those are the biggest things. The biggest hurdles is definitely credit, right? And then after that, I would say it's probably assets. Your income is what it is. You can try to find better jobs or get more income, but the biggest part of income is also debt, right? So you can make $100,000, but if you have $60,000, $70,000 in debt, or your monthly expenses going towards debt offsets your income, then you're in the same boat. Managing debt.
No, of course. And I know, me personally, I have issues with student loans because of, all the schooling I did, but I know that, I guess at the federal level, right? I guess they're being more lenient on that. Correct? Is that correct?
Yeah. So I could give you the breakdown really quick.
Thank you.
FHA updated their student loan requirements. So basically, if it pulls in the credit that's deferred or you're paying zero, we can actually do 0.5% of your overall balance.
Sure.
For debt liability calculations. And Freddie Mac on the conventional side is the same thing. Fannie is 1%. So those are the biggest things. VA has their own calculations, which I'm not going to go into.
Sure, of course not.
But yeah, VA has its own calculations for student loans as well.
That's great. Well, thanks for sharing that. How can your organization help with those challenges, or just any challenges in general? So how can you help?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, how can you help? How can Guaranteed Rate and how can the work you do kind of help these folks out get homes here in New Jersey?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm more like this year, especially. I'm more focused on providing education, and that's how I treat all of my clients. Right. I want to make sure that on my initial call, that we answer any questions that they have based on their research or if they have any past experience, word of mouth through friends or whatnot. So I like to start with addressing questions. As far as education goes, I kind of break down the process to them and the things that we look at just to see if they have any other questions based on that. But overall, we're here. We're a full mortgage company. We do pretty much every product out there, plus some non-qualifying mortgage products. So we're here to try to find the right product for the right customer, because again, it's not a one size fits all. So we when we evaluate a client, we evaluate their credit, income, and assets, and then we figure out what the best structure is for them, because it's not always FHA, it's not always conventional. It just depends on the overall profile of the client. So what you get here is a full service, and if God forbid you don't qualify at the time, I'm not going to leave you out to dry. I'll give you some tips, pointers, and things like that. So that way, maybe in 6 months, a year, 2 years, you come back and then you'll be ready to buy a house. So that's what we offer here.
Awesome. Great, man. Great conversation with you. How can people find you?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm actually, I think pretty much across all the social platforms. So my Instagram is On Mission Lender. You can find me on Facebook, Los, Sanchez-Santana, Guaranteed Rate. And I'm also on LinkedIn. You can always call me or text me at 862-228-5981. Or you can email me as well at louis.sanchez-santana@rate.com.
Louis, pleasure to have you on the show. I wanted to get you for a couple of weeks, so I'm glad I finally got you, and I'm happy we had this very informative and straightforward and awesome conversations. Thank you, Louis, for being on the Dr. B Show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity and thank you so much.
Thank you. Louis Sanchez-Santana, everybody. Thank you. Has the pandemic changed the way you prospect today? Do you struggle prospecting for new leads for your business? Do you have challenges and don't have a process when networking at an event, either virtually or online? Well, look no further. Borja Consulting Group's Transforming Your Way to Success online course is a solution. In this 8-week intensive course, you will go from networking novice to networking guru. As a bonus, 2 coaching sessions with Dr. Jairo Borja himself are now included in the course. Don't miss this amazing opportunity to transform your pipeline, increase quality leads, close more deals, and transform your way to success. For more information, please visit our website, www.borjaconsultinggroup.com. That's www.borjaconsultinggroup.com. That wraps up our episode of Luis Sanchez-Santana, VP of Lending for Guaranteed Rate. We had an amazing conversation about the state of real estate. Hopefully you learned something about real estate. And if you're still struggling with networking, fill in that top of the funnel with leads. Get the course, Transforming Your Way to Success at borjaconsultinggroup.com, borjaconsultinggroup.com. Dr. B, top guy, out.